All right, people. For the brief introduction, that was some music from Project Justice, Aharu Station. Gosh, I can't say that name whatsoever. My Japanese is horrible. Welcome to another episode of, finally, after so long, another episode of Gamer Idea Foundry. As the music and the title have basically brought about, I'm going to be talking about Rival Schools, more or less a sequel to Project Justice, which could either be called Rival Schools 3 or Project Justice 2 or any other crazy name that anybody could come up with. I'd like to introduce my two guests that are joining me currently. First, from my left to my right, we have Micah of DGC for Gamers.
Yo,
Introduce yourself, man.
Yo, what's up, people? Here to talk some rival schools right now, so let's get into it.
All right, and the other caster here joining me is Mr. Red Fox.
It's I, Mr. Red Fox. Oh, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
All right,
Random.
man, these people are cards, and I'm sorry for such a delay. We got caught up talking about something else, but quite a few times we tried to get back to starting this. And then we got sidetracked on other subjects. So now that we got our focus, because we've done all of our gabbing, I guess, for the moment, I'm briefly going to give a quick rundown of a couple of the things I'm going to hit on. I'm not really going to dive too much into a story because, honestly, it's a fighting game. Most people don't play them for the story. I kind of do, but that's just me. Anyhow, what I'm imagining as far as at least the start for this is to, I don't know why I'm cracking my knuckles. I guess that's the fighting game spirit in me. Rival Schools and Project Justice were both games that were centered in events happening around Justice High School in Japan. Whereas with the third game, I would love to see them expand to like a worldwide approach with dealing with like different schools and organizations within schools that have, world domination plans, I guess. If you haven't played either of the first two games, I suggest you go ahead and do some research on them because the plot's pretty interesting, but like I said, I'm not going to dive too much into a story. But I would love to see them expand out to go like other countries like, the US, to go to the UK, just different regions and get characters and ideas and concepts from those regions to have these fighting schools, I guess, to more or less pick off of. And if they expand it that far, they could have a massive roster, and I would love to see that. But again, that's something way off.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, man, I don't even know where else I wanted to go with that.
You're forgetting a city. They could add a fictitious city.
Yeah, they could definitely add like fake cities. They don't have to choose real locations.
They could add Metro City.
I think a good concept is, as the title is called Rival Schools, it would be good if you had different schools involved.
Yeah.
Since you're dealing with different places in the world, deal with different schools as well.
Yeah, and
make it like rival schools.
Yeah, in the game they have different types of schools. Like you got your sports school, you have your general education school, which is, I think, is Tato High School in that game. Then there's the all-girls school. Like, there's different themed schools. I would love to see, like, a culinary school-themed team in a rival school setting, or, like, maybe an astrophysics-themed team. Just a bunch of random different things that they could do that they haven't necessarily done. It would just... And honestly, though, this is Capcom, and they've lost all their creativeness, so they kind of probably wouldn't do it. But, hey.
They traded their soul for on this DLC.
Yes.
I would like to see. If they're talking about fictitious schools, I would like to see them do a Rival Schools with Metro City and have a young Cody-like character pull out a shank and stab someone.
They already kind of have that with Edge.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
But
Okay, fine. A young damned.
But they could
with dreadlocks.
They could do this. They could go ahead and, like, you know, that non-canon brother that Cody has, Kyle. They could have a Metro City High School, just call it Metro High, and he could be the lead character for that school.
And have the principal fight. It's Mike Haggard.
Well, they've done that already too, so it wouldn't make much of a difference. I'd go for it. Oh no, it wouldn't just be students fighting. No, we'd have the faculty. We'd have the faculty and the principal and stuff involved. So yeah, that
would be quite funny. Just imagine.
But just think about it. You have your medical school students and faculty and stuff, or you could have your computer geeks as a school. Like, just a bunch of different things that they could do. And it would be awesome and fun, and it'd just be interesting concepts that they could throw back and forth. I would so buy that game in a heartbeat.
But this game would need modes that go beyond just your typical.
I've got that covered. I've got that covered.
Okay.
He got that covered, Red Fox.
I got that covered, man. I stay on top of that one. I stay on top of that.
You got this.
I got this, dude. I got this. This is my thing. It's my thing, man. Obviously, we're going to have all of the standard fighting game modes. You got your arcade mode, which is just straight beat the fuck out of everybody as you go along. Have your time attack mode. Like, I like time attack modes because it just shows how fast you can beat the shit out of all the characters in the game. Your survival mode, see how long you can last. Rival schools would have like a tournament mode though, because it's essential to this type of game, because it's like a team-based fighter where you got 3 characters you're using to fight, and I think keeping that in this game would make it fun. I'd also love to have a free-for-all mode, but I don't see how that could be possible because you have characters facing too many different people, and that might cause a distraction. Obviously, you have your settings, but that's not a mode. That's just basic configuration. A mode that I would love to have, because Rival Schools is famous for having, well, not necessarily over here, but in Japan, Project Justice had a mode where you could create your own characters. You create your own fighter, your own student in the school. And I would love to take that concept and expand upon it, which, after I'm done talking, I would like you guys to give me your thoughts on that. But this mode, I'd say call it Create a School. Now, this would be a little bit more...
All I'm saying is I can tell that most people would... The first thing a lot of people would want to be expanding on would probably be the sex appeal of the female characters.
You know what, dude. We know there's perverts everywhere, but it's something we can't help.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I'd do the same myself.
I know you would.
We can't help.
And there would be specific attire just to fulfill your fetish, okay? But, getting back to Create a School, there would be 3 layers to Create a School. Obviously, the first layer is creating a school, which you would be choosing your location, obviously your country, then possibly your state or province and your city, as well as setting up, like, you'll have choices of emblems that you can use for your school, or you'd have the option to create your own emblem. Unfortunately, you'd have to be careful with this option, because if we allow people to import pictures, which I would want to do, then we would have a high school with a portrait of a penis as the emblem.
Yes, we would have
or other genitals.
Obviously, that would happen. So there would have to be
schools, basically.
So there would have to be some sort of filter to block such content.
Or just block the user.
Basically. Because I would definitely not want that. Because there are some people who are really artistic and can't do certain things on the computer that they can do with their hand, and would like to, draw out their own emblem and scan it in and upload it. And I would be cool with that. I'm just not cool with people putting their butt cheeks up as a school's symbol. That's just not me. I'm not for that.
But you're not going down with the Buford buttocks?
Nah. Um, and along with selecting your school, you get to pick your school's main 3 colors, not 2, 3 colors, because I don't know what's up with the 2-color thing. I don't know why sports games do that to college schools, because they usually typically use kind of like 3 colors, at least from what I've seen. Maybe I'm wrong. But then we slide down to the character creation tier, and I'm going to keep this as bare minimum as possible. You'll be able to create a student, a faculty member, or your school's principal. And each school would have to have at least 3 active characters to be able to be used in-game. You'll still be able to use the characters separately, but the school itself would not be able to be used unless there were at least 3 fully made characters as representatives of that school. So you'd have to have at least 3 characters made in order for that school to pop up to be able to be played with. The limits would be for this: 5 students, 3 faculty members, and 1 principal, which would round you out at 9 characters per school. And people will probably be like, well, why the triangle effect? Because that's what I wanted to do. I really don't care. And it makes the most sense that way anyhow. That way you don't have a school flooded full of students, and it kind of makes logical sense within the game's plot. Wow, I just kind of overdid that. I kind of ran through that really quick. But what do you guys think of that basis as a creative feature for a game? Who wants to go first? Okay. You going to expand upon anything? Maybe give your own input, which you would like to see thrown in with that, or is that where you want to leave?
I think it would be cool if they added if the ability was in not only where you could create your school, but one of the characters could be like a mascot, or if you could add like clubs to the school that would give like little minor bonuses, like a character who, let's say, is in the soccer club might have more powerful kicks, and they can switch clubs as the game goes on to give them certain advantages. Like a character who's in, or if a character's in the karate club, their basic combat skills would go up, but like, there would be a plus and a bonus. It wouldn't just be all, well, he's in the karate club, he can kick anyone's foot.
just get a little stamp on his hand. Yes, we know you're a part of this club.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good, but that could also go along with my themed school idea as well, where you just have themed up schools and just have one school with a particular theme, just depending on what theme you wanted to use, I guess. But if you wanted to just have like a general school itself and then have the additional bonuses, that would actually be that'd be actually pretty good to have for those who don't want to have a school that is necessarily themed to one specific subject. So yeah. I can dig that idea. All right, Michael, what you got to say?
I would say, like, as an incentive, like, have some kind of ranking systems in the school where you go, in order to unlock certain things, like, you have to, like, level up the status of your school. So, like, some kind of ranking status. So, like, to unlock new moves for characters, maybe unlock character costumes, things like that. I mean, obviously, I know in this day and age, these things are just on this DLC that you have to pay for. But,
if I was making this, it wouldn't be no pay to do this. It'd be in the game and earn it.
Well, yeah, that's what I would want to see. Something where some system where you can earn rewards for, like, say you have like a campaign to build up say you have a campaign in the game where you can build up your school. You play through that campaign towards, like, get new things for your school, new equipment, new moves for certain characters, new types of characters and things like that, different costumes, build up status to enter tournaments and stuff, and then, have an online ranking system where you can show it all off and things like that. Just different incentives to keep the player coming back.
I can get that. That would really well fit within, like, a creative feature. Like, have these things that you can earn, just so that you can come back and change things every now and again. Like Because if you're talking about school rankings, like the school as a whole, because I was going to say I do have separate character rankings intentionally for a reason. So, but if you're talking school rankings, yeah, that would make a lot of sense to have something like that included for, like, a school campaign mode or an online incentives for playing against others and building up your school's reputation amongst the schools across the world. I get that's good. I go with that. That's good input that Capcom could use, but they're probably not going to because a bunch of dumbasses. But it's okay.
Oh, that's Crapcom for you.
We want them to make. You know what? If they can't make, if they won't make a new one, I mean, if they don't want to go through all that trouble, because we know they, I mean, Rival Schools had 2 games, and
great games.
They kind of threw it. Yeah, 2 good games that they kind of threw that franchise off by the wayside. And that's a franchise that had 2 games. We all know what they've done to some of their major moneymakers, like Mega Man, and so Resident Evil, yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I just had a cough,
dude.
Maybe we should.
That's a severe cough you got there, man.
Maybe we should focus on them doing something a little bit different. So maybe they could re-release Rival Schools 1 and 2 in a 2-for pack, updated visuals, true HD, a true HD re-release digitally across all platforms, PC, 8th gen consoles, and if you're really desperate for the money, Capcom, Android, smartphone.
I don't see how those games work on smartphone because those controls are so precise. You'd be pissed. You'd be surprised at the stuff people have put on smartphone. Oh no, I've seen it. I'm just saying for this particular game, the precision touchscreen ain't gonna do it.
Fun mobile gaming.
It ain't gonna do it. But I can see them doing it. I can see them doing it, but I'm just saying. I actually had that thought, and for them to do it kind of like how Tecmo did Dead or Alive Ultimate, like just do the package deal. I would like to see them do physical or digital for it, but don't put it out there and say, okay, you gotta pay $60 for this because it's not going to be worth $60 for all that.
No. But I think if they do that.
Go ahead.
I think if they were going to do a package, I think if they were going to release I think it would have to be at least like, okay, $15 for each game by itself, fully HD, up-res, 1080p, 60 frames per second. Now, if you get both of them, $20.
I'd say be fair, do $25. $25.
Okay, $25. $24.99.
Yeah.
$24.99 if you get both.
If you're doing 15 each, 10 is a steep hit.
Yeah, okay. $24.99. You get $5 off. You get both of them, and let's say they throw in one of the surprise students, Captain Commando.
Oh, that'd be funny. That'd be hilarious.
Commando with his mechanized arm. Maybe the mascot of one of the schools could be Mega Man. Like the real Mega Man, not that dude from Street Fighter.
Not bad box art Mega Man.
No, the real Mega Man.
It would be a great troll if they put Ashley in the game as a character from Resident Evil 4.
Oh gosh, man, Ashley.
That'd be such a great troll.
Wow. But but what I was thinking, in Japan, Rival Schools for PS1 actually had a second game that was like an enhancement of the first game that had extra characters. So they released that version of it as their lead, like they did with Dead or Alive. Like I said, what Tecmo did with Dead or Alive Ultimate, where the first game was an enhanced version, like the better version of the first Dead or Alive, and then the second game was actually an enhancement of that one. But with Project Justice,
they like to bring out about 5,000 different enhancements for their games.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Capcom, dude.
That would be right up their alley. But
that's Capcom, dude.
But with Project Justice, a lot of people don't know that there's like two separate versions of Project Justice. See, the Japanese version of it had, like I said, had the creative character mode in it that they just didn't want to fully translate when they brought it over here. It was actually a separate disc for that one mode. It was like a board game that you had to play in order to make your own character that you could put in the game to play and fight with. What they could do is put that together with fully translate that, put that together with the generic characters that they kind of threw in the other versions of the game, so that you have a basis for your created characters or your additional characters. Use that as a basis. That way, all of those characters are still unlockable by playing the game, and they'll be in there. And then you can still make your own other characters to play in Project Justice along with.
Sorry.
Go ahead. I was done.
No, I was going to say, or like those characters be templates. So once you beat a school, you get access to all the characters that go to that school's template. So then you can create a character. It's like, man, I really like that dude's fighting style. You beat their school, and you can now create a character with that template. You know, I like his fighting style. I don't like his stupid haircut. So now you can create a character with that fighting style without the stupid haircut.
Yeah. I mean, that would be good for them as if they're going to do like a re-release. But if we're moving on to a new game, which we kind of got pulled away from, but at least it was still in the subject of rival schools. I would also like to see them go back to some of their younger characters from Street Fighter and other fighting games that they've had. Namely, some of the characters from Street Fighter 3, like Sean, Yun, Yang, Makoto, Ibuki, Elena. I'm not certain. I think Alex would be young enough to fit with that group. I don't think he's much older than those characters. But I mean, he would fit probably in there too pretty well. And then
He'd be a substitute teacher.
Yeah, I guess so. Characters like bring Sakura back to rival schools. Karen, if they can get the license to her, because I don't think Capcom actually owned the license to her when she was in Alpha 3. And Rainbow Mika, that young Russian wrestling girl. Those are all characters that would fit perfectly in rival schools. Like they're of the age, they are flashy enough, and they kind of have that attitude that those characters had, so they would fit well within rival schools in that setting. And it's not like it's a separate universe from Street Fighter. It's the same cohesive universe. So they could put them in there and give them the outrageous specials that the rival schools characters have, and all the Marvel vs. Capcom type fighting that they do, and it would work. Plus, I guess just my own personal want just to see those characters fight like Batsu, Kyosuke, Hinata, Shoma. I want to see them take each other on just because the battles could be comical as all hell. I don't know. And then there's the characters from Street Fighter the Street Fighter EX series. But I think Capcom doesn't have the license to them either. But some of them were young enough that they could have fit in rival schools, and it would have worked. And they were of the skill level that fit well with those characters. I just don't see why that hasn't been done. But for a third game, I would love to see all those characters just get meshed together, and all these different schools from around the world taking each other on in like some sort of massive competition of some kind. And then we find out that there's some sort of plot behind it where they have to all band together to take out this one super powerful dude. I don't know why they haven't done it. I'm like, it writes itself. It's right in front of your face. And
Well, I've got a plot for you, and this has been used in quite a few Japanese animes and other video games, but it works, so it might work. How about in rival schools, because that's the whole point, is that you have these schools fighting against each other, right? How about you have a school that, like, they fight the other schools and then, like, steal their best students, take their funding, school gets shut down. So basically you have this super school where all these dudes know these insane inhuman fighting skills, taking out all these other schools, and the only schools that are left are like the ones that they haven't gotten to yet, or maybe like one that hasn't lost to them yet, right? So, like, and the principal of that super school that's taking out all these things is actually just happens to be, maybe another Capcom villain.
Like
Maybe
Bison.
one that, maybe Seth, maybe Bison.
Seth will work. Seth will work with Urian from Street Fighter 3.
Some dude, turns out the dude's like, haha, actually, you thought this was a school? I work for Shadow Law.
Like you're in a recruitment program.
Yeah. We're here looking for fighters. Oh, those people, those students in detention, oh, they aren't in detention. We're stealing their martial arts skills and abilities and downloading them into these droids. How you like them apples?
That wouldn't be a bad premise, and then they could help them out on the Street Fighter side of things by progressing the story some. But okay, it would work.
No, because the thing is, I'm pretty sure rival schools would need a little bit of help to get like that because people, it's an unknown franchise for a lot of people. But if you tie it into Street Fighter, maybe have a Street Fighter dude pop up every once in a while,
Well,
Ken Masters pop up. Hey,
that's why
you want to beat me? If you beat him, you learn a new special attack. I don't know. You too can do a Hadouken.
They used the whole that's why they used Sakura from Street Fighter. It was a tie-in. She was the tie-in to the series, and they just kind of took her out the second game. I don't know why they took her out the second game because she should have been in there. But then they had a character that was similar enough to her. They was like, well, we don't need her. But it's still stupid because she still had a different skill set. That was why I'm like, well, missed opportunity, Capcom. Stupid shit. Then they had then they had those generic fighting characters that had some of the Street Fighter characters' moves. I was like, well, obviously, I know where this is from. Hell, there's I can't remember the character's name because I haven't played the game in a while, but there's one girl in there that fights exactly like Sakura. If she's like a plain character, she only has like one or two moves that are different than her, but she fights exactly like she does. I was like, well, why didn't they just put her in the game? They obviously put the moveset in, put her in the game.
That's Capcom's thing. Capcom makes some really questionable choices with their franchises. Like, they're pushing Street Fighter. I'm like, give Street Fighter a rest. Please give it a rest.
We've been making the same Street Fighter game for the past how many years? We're going to get Master Street Fighter 4.
No, I'll tell you what I like, okay? Like, Capcom cross Namco cross Sega was a really nice little game for the 3DS.
Oh, you're talking about Project Cross Zone.
Yeah, Project Cross Zone.
Yeah.
Project Cross Zone.
It's a good game, but gosh, they fucked up some story elements.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's fun. It's a nice way to introduce you to these characters. It has rival school characters in there.
One.
One, but still, it's still he's there, And Project Viper. You got another project. They got Project Viper dudes.
You mean Fighting Vipers?
Yeah, sorry, Fighting Vipers. They have some obscure Capcom characters in there. Here's all I'm saying, Capcom. Take these. If you don't want to put the money into re-releasing this, up-resing it, because I know you guys are trying to make money and you're cheap. Release a 3DS game. Make it get the same people who did Project Cross Zone and
Monolith.
No, Project Cross Zone wasn't Monolith.
Monolith Soft helped with that.
Really? Oh,
yep.
Oh.
They were on the team.
They also did. What was the name of that game? It's one of my favorite games. Shit. It's Robot Wars Saga. Unlimited,
I know what you're talking about.
Robot Wars Saga. Get those people to make an RPG. You can have it be rival schools, them running around Japan to other schools, beating up people. But you can look, if you don't want to do a fighting game, do something else. But for the love of God, bring these franchises back. Give them to the public so people will know about them.
Honestly, it will be so simple for them to just, do the re-release and, advertise it a little bit. but they just missed the ball on a lot of stuff. Now that's why I'm like I so want a continuation of this franchise. It was off the wall. It was fun. It was different. It didn't feel like their usual formula, and it's just like why didn't they go back to that?
It was a crazy little concept, and I liked it because it's just like, you know, everyone can kind of relate to it, because it's like, you know, when you're in school, you're always like kind of socially competing in different areas. I mean, you've always got like sports competing with, you know, different groups of people. You've always got the, you know, models kind of people competing with different groups. You've always got like the nerds. You know, there was always some level of social competition in schools, and then to kind of see that come in a fighting game, it was a good concept because people can actually relate to it in some form of way, even though they're not literally directly beating the crap out of each other. You know, it's basically translating the social aspects of school into a beat 'em up game.
Yeah, basically. And then you get to see the funny little jump scenes when they just beating the crap out of one person, and sometimes you can save your friend, and I like that element. It's just like it was a concept that they just didn't use enough. Like this is one concept that they would have used it a lot, I probably wouldn't have been mad at them because the way it was done, it could have progressed so much further. And I'm just like, wow, come on, Capcom. Like I want my characters back, man. I just want them back. I want to see Batsu get all worked up and get fiery mad because somebody insulted him on his haircut, that scar on his face.
Batsu was one of my favorite characters. He was so cool.
And he's the one character from a franchise that I actually like. Who's the lead character of the franchise?
Who's that OP guy with the baseball? With the baseball guy?
Shoma. That's Shoma.
Yeah, he was OP. He was just so OP.
I loved him though. Like that wind up with that bat, and you get to hear that sound once he hits you. You know that's it. Once he
was kind of OP though.
Yeah, but he was slow. He was drastically slow compared to most other characters in that game. He was easy to hit. Like even the bigger dudes could easily bash the hell out of him. You have to be skilled with him to know what to do. He's not somebody.
I guess my uncle was just very skilled with him because he kept beating the crap out of me.
I was like, no, you can't just run in and bash anybody with Shoma.
I was smacking up everyone until my uncle got a hold of the game, and then I was just getting my ass.
Oh, then that was your ass. That was it. But I don't know. I just want to see rival schools come back. And I'm sorry, Rosa, we were kind of just gabbing on, dude, and I didn't introduce you. What's up, man?
That's good. That's good.
You just fell in the middle of the conversation.
It's all good. I can't read minds.
Well, obviously. Because if you did, you've already known I talked about like creating schools and making characters. I didn't really think about diving into like setting up move sets, but I kind of did want to think of a way that you could earn moves without actually having to interact with anybody online, like at least like earn some base sets for people to play.
Dojo.
Yeah. And I was either do like a dojo type thing or bring back their little interesting social board game that they had from Project Justice. Mm-hmm. I wish it was translated.
Dojo or detention?
Probably detention.
Go to the library.
Then you can have the teacher and people. Detention. The dude with the kendo stick.
Either that, or you know, what would be a really cool idea. Your characters get experience, like for winning fights, but they can go to the library and get experience, but at a lower rate.
Yeah.
Like, and that would be like you could learn new moves and test them out.
Well, I would have to separate then that certain moves you have to go to the library and spend a certain number of hours in order to achieve the concept for the move so that you can use them.
Yeah.
That would be a good way to make people actually do it. And instead everybody just, I'm just going to go ahead and fight and build everything up real quick.
Yeah.
Like play different things in the game and experience the whole game to
That
Dude,
would be cool.
are you having fun bashing those buttons?
Yes, I am actually.
What, man? People like killing monsters. What can I say? It's addictive. You know they've done their job when you just love killing those monsters, man.
And see, and this is why I say Capcom could do their job if they applied the same type of effort that they did to, like, a game like Monster Hunter to rival schools game.
Look, listen, you have to understand something. The dude in charge of Monster Hunter is the only dude who got a raise at Capcom because he's been doing his job. Like, everyone else has been messing up. So...
Well, then why not have this dude work on some concepts for some other stuff?
I think the only thing he does is Monster Hunter.
Well, that's a damn shame.
That's his only thing. I mean, I'm not mad about it. I'm just saying that's.
Just imagine if he separated from Capcom and took the Monster Hunter franchise with him and just created it on like.
He'd have to make something else because we know they own the rights to it, but he could make something very similar.
That's true.
Oh man.
I think Monster Hunter and Phoenix Wright are like the only two franchises saving Capcom at the moment.
Yeah, because the ones that would save them, they've either screwed up or don't use them.
Screw them! No one liked that company. No one liked them. No one liked them.
We liked
them.
them.
They don't. No. You see. Now they suck. Back then they were good, of course, because they actually came out with games that people wanted. I'm sorry, but I don't think no one wants deep down. But the thing is, Capcom, do the right thing and just bring back everything that you basically are throwing out in the trash.
I just want a Final Fight game.
Hey, still same universe as rival schools, dude.
I just want to look. And Final Fight Streetwise, I bought that game. I was like, you know what? I bought that game. I forced myself to play through that abomination.
Because you won the Final Fight.
I was like, they couldn't even they messed up Andore. They messed up Andore. How do you mess up? Like, he's one of the most iconic Final Fight characters. They messed him up.
Because they did.
Because that's what Capcom does. They make something great and then they destroy it.
Which baffles the shit out of me. It just makes me wonder if they don't have those developers anymore. If they just like left the company, that might be the main reason we don't see half these franchises anymore.
Probably.
No, I think they don't have the skill to make good games anymore. They don't have it anymore. They had it a long time ago.
They sold their soul to on this DLC.
And that pissed people off, and then they started losing money.
They don't have it anymore. They used to have it. I remember when Capcom used to be one of the best, literally one of the best developers. Like, they could rival Nintendo in a lot of ways on some things.
They did, but yeah.
Not anymore.
Nope.
Like, Nintendo's the last of the old school Japanese. Well, no, Atlas is still kind of doing their.
They're one of the last.
Sega's not too bad.
No, they're not as good as they used to be either, though.
Yeah, they don't take the risk that they used to back in the day. Which
made their games fun.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, the thing with Sega games, they were just like a very niche they made a lot of like niche games.
Yeah, they did.
I tell you, Sega had some really good arcade games back in the day, and I still play those ports on my Dreamcast, like Daytona USA, with the dude who's way too damn happy to be singing that song. Daytona! He's the same dude who did Burning Rangers. Burning Rangers! That game, oh man.
That's another franchise I would love to see make a that was another game I would love to see make a comeback, but that's a story. That's another game that's another subject for another time.
Burning Rangers.
It was an interesting concept. I'll give it to that. I didn't want to play it at first, but then when I got my hands on it and I actually did play it, I was like, oh, okay, there's more to this than I thought. But
it's firefighters literally fighting fire.
Basically. In the strangest of ways, but we'll like I said, that's a subject for a different time. Um, since I really didn't dive too much into a story, a games is kind of creative. Firstly, have you really played Rival Schools or Project Justice? One of the two.
No.
No. Okay.
Honest,
Okay.
I'll give him that much.
This could
Very
be
honest.
interesting. This could be interesting.
I don't know. I just never. Like, I did see those. I heard about them, but it just
But
never,
you never
like,
played them.
oh my god, I have to get this, you know? I don't know.
No, see, if you played them, you probably feel a little differently. But this creates an interesting little scenario here, and I'm going to roll with this. What type of story would I know you already did this, Red. And I'm not stepping on that because that was actually pretty good, but I want to see what he has to say. What kind of story would you like to see where you could involve a bunch of high school students and faculty members and principals beating the snot out of each other?
Okay, so what I would do is definitely make it where this one kid basically sets the school on fire.
They did that in Project Justice.
Huh?
They did that in Project Justice. That
I'm
would
not
be
done yet.
I'm just saying that's
It
already
was
been done.
set on fire because of a meteor that fell out of the sky.
Oh
And
no! Okay, no, you know what? Go ahead. I'm just gonna let you.
and then basically the meteor had something where, like some kind of smoke where it just made people angry. And everybody started beating each other up. And then you got people chopping off heads. You got people just killing each other. But
Okay, see, you're going into like a High School of the Dead thing.
no.
We're talking of fighting and kind of living to see another day, where some people die, but most just get pummeled.
Okay.
You gotta think. You gotta think outside of. You gotta think Street
Oh,
Fighter
I got it,
low
I got it, I got
level.
it. All right,
You're like at Mortal Kombat and Killer
Okay.
Instinct.
Okay. Let's say the president of the class, I don't know, something like that, and he's trying to make lunch $5 more, and they're angry about it.
That is so simple, man.
No, actually, no, he's
It
got
worked.
a point. In
It
Japan, they really like their certain lunch things. They sell out so damn quickly. How
I know,
about
but
someone's
just saying.
trying to steal? Someone's trying to the principal is cutting budgets, and he drops one of the things that the kids really like,
Oh,
the
gosh,
lunch
that would
things,
be an uproar like a motherfucker.
and they're fighting to get to the principal to get it, and they find out the reason he's cutting budgets is because these other schools are like taking all the state funds that are allocated, and so they got to fight to get it back.
That's actually interesting. At that point, it's interesting because before then it just sounds like a bunch of angry kids because they get their favorite snack.
Why not? Why not, man?
You stole my jelly jigglers.
I'm like,
You
man,
need
you
our
took my
pudding.
jelly donuts, man.
They're pudding.
No,
For some reason,
just
high schoolers
imagine.
love
Just imagine a food fight. Just imagine what should have originally been a food fight ends up becoming an entire beat 'em up.
You took my chicken wings!
And,
Just
like,
freaking
like, dude.
drop kicks him in the head, and just like all of a sudden he's basically like you got a guy that's basically like Bob from Tekken, just going in and freaking like, you ate my jelly donut, I'm gonna get you now, like bam. No, it's just like, dang, man, okay. Then you
all
do
right.
something with food.
See, I shouldn't have asked you. I shouldn't have, because I had a feeling it was going to go somewhere with food.
I'm hungry.
I know.
Food is
You're like a damn
delicious.
Ninja Turtle, man. Like a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah,
As
I mean,
is pizza.
Yeah. I could actually see that concept working. And since he kind of missed out on the differing subjects for different schools, or like themes for schools, come up with like 3 or 4 different themes that a school could have that could be a fighting school.
Okay. Taekwondo.
No, not necessarily martial arts. We'll drop martial arts. I gotta make it interesting. Drop martial arts, because everybody's gonna be martial artists anyway, in a weird way.
Okay. So you can be
Anything but martial artists, though they would be in the game. But I'm just saying, for this particular thing, I'm asking you avoid martial arts.
okay. So let's go typical U.S. school 101, or at least how they do it in the movies, because they suck at that. But you could have it where you have the science nerds or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That'll be one part. They have like, it reminds me of that one thing from I think it was My Life as a Teenage Robot, where like these math leagues built mechs and like were playing football. It was
Okay.
like that's what they could get, and then like jockey people. They don't whatever. They're dumb anyway, so they just go with they use their head. There's
Literally.
nothing in there anyway. So, and then you would have.
That's two. Just so keep them count. That's two, because you did geeks and jocks.
Okay. You would have those. Oh my God! Like so fabulous, right?
So the prissy type.
Prissy does, yeah. They have their nails all like freaking.
You know, I
Perfect.
didn't even. As
like
odd as
that.
this might sound, I didn't even think about just going on and say, "Hey, you have a prissy school full of people that worry about fashion and are over obsessed with it." And see, this is why I brought this up with him. So if I didn't think about it, he would. There's one I'm surprised you didn't go with. But go ahead, keep going. I'm pretty sure I'm thinking right. It might come up.
Of course, you would have the people that just don't care about life.
Emo school.
Yeah, basically. So they would just get those guys, and then basically I think they would. Huh. They just get like a bunch of things and just cut themselves. I don't know, but yeah, you can have that. Oh, you could also have like, all right, the staff too. I can go with the staff too, right?
Yes. Well, each
right.
school would have students and staff.
All right. So you would have it where the cafeteria ladies and men, whatever.
See, I knew it. Food was coming up. I knew it.
Bruh, they use food as a weapon.
Have them use fucking
Like,
cafeteria.
They throw like
cafeteria
freaking.
trays and beat people with.
So you have them. You have the janitors where they're basically like elite status, because they basically have all the freaking skills they need. They've been in the school for like more than the kids ever like been there. Yeah. And then you would also have the teachers where they go in with their rulers with like what are those things called again? Wow. They have their rulers with like, then they have like they have like basically like a Batman belt. They have like a freaking
Utility belt.
I'm just gonna call it a Batman belt because literally
Utility
Batman's
belt.
man. Batman's belt.
That's what it's called.
I know. Go by that. No, but I want Batman's belt to be the definition, because the thing is his belt is like.
I'm just saying, that's what it's called.
His belt though is like filled with 100 things at once.
That's because Batman ain't got a damn life. He takes his time figuring out how to stuff big ass things in tiny ass spots.
What I'm saying is Batman.
No, he just has a lot of spare time because literally he never uses all the gadgets in his belt, but he's always got just the right thing, which tells me this dude spent a lot of time
and a lot
thinking
of money.
about all this stuff that could happen. But most of the time
I'm
doesn't.
surprised how this guy has not even found a way to freaking make force fields or like cure all disease in the world.
Eventually, Batman does make force fields. Batman Beyond.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't count
I mean,
that. I'm talking about
seriously,
original
Batman, like, he hooks up with Catwoman. Ah, I've got the Bat condom in here somewhere. Like, Batman just, because, I mean, anyone remember the 60s show? He had Bat shark repellent, there was this one thing where, like, the Penguin had figured out a way to dehydrate his minions, and then he'd, like, hit them with a water dropper, and these, like, fully, goons would pop up. He's like, Batman's like, I've got the dehydrator ray that'll reverse the effects. I'm like, hey, man, you got everything in your utility belt.
This is way too much stuff. But we're getting sidetracked again.
It's like Inspector. It's like a serious version of Inspector Gadget.
Yeah, but Inspector Gadget ain't even got everything for every situation.
Go Gadget arms.
Inspector Gadget is a fuck up.
No, look, Penny was the one who, and Brain were the ones saving Inspector Gadget's behind.
Yeah, he just took all the credit and didn't know he was taking the credit.
Go Gadget legs.
Fucking incompetent. But I completely skipped over something that I didn't think about mentioning with with creating the school and the characters. And I don't know how I spaced on this. It's a simple thing. It's a rock paper scissors effect, but each different type of character, like student, faculty, and principal, would have an advantage and disadvantage over the other one. I don't know why I didn't say that, but there's always somebody who's going to be like, well, why don't we have advantages and disadvantages? So I figured I'd say it so that it's not forgotten, because I know some people are sticklers, because I'm a stickler sometimes. So I wanted to make sure that was said. I don't really think I can carry too much more for the subject without actually making a full story for it, and I just don't have the mental capacity at this very moment in time to make a full fleshed out story for this game.
Same.
I just want to see Rival Schools 3 play like Project Justice and have added features like the ones I talked about. That's all.
I just want to see a return of the game that isn't a F up like Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Ugh.
You mean Spam Fest?
Yes. That is Bullshit Fest 2013?
Hey, bro, it's an Evo. You can't say anything bad about it.
Fuck that. I can say every bad thing I want to about that unbalanced, unpolished,
man, screw you. I get 300 hit combo.
Game. And why is that like that? Why can people get 300 hit combos in a game? Why are you able to get a 300 hit combo and string that many hits together?
Yeah.
And keep a person from being able to fight you back. You
can't even block. You can't even block. And even if you block it takes away all your life.
There are no counters to it. Once it starts,
I hate the game.
You can't counter it.
I like the game for one reason, and that is because of the characters that are in there.
Okami?
Of course, Zero, and darn them for not adding X. But they have all them
costume.
Shut up! Freaking, that disappointed me.
I know, but
they actually had him as an actual character. But
they had him in Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Apparently,
they had Mega Man, not X.
Well, let me put it this way: Mega Man, the Blue Bomber, Rock, whatever you want to call him, the character we all grew up with, he was awesome.
And they got rid of him.
And they got rid of him.
I'm okay with that.
But
the Marvel vs. Capcom, because that game was horrible. So
the first
he's in a better game.
Oh, you talking about Marvel vs. Capcom 3? Yes, that was horrible.
Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 3. The first
four games were okay.
Yeah.
That fifth one, which is Marvel vs. Capcom 3, was shitty.
I only like the first, second.
Yeah, I like the first Marvel vs. Capcom. I spent so many hours on my PlayStation playing that game.
See, no, I can't play that one. What
happened was that I got Marvel vs. Capcom 1 because when I got my PlayStation, I bought the PlayStation and had a box of games with it, and one of the games was Marvel vs. Capcom. Then, when I got my Dreamcast, because the Dreamcast had much better arcade ports of all those fighting games.
So did Sega Saturn, but people didn't know that.
Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and Marvel versus X-Men versus Street Fighter. Let me tell you something. That was I don't know why Disney took the rights to fighting games away from Capcom. Because even if you don't like Marvel vs. Capcom 3, you have to admit it's pretty good for what it is.
Even though it's shitty.
Even though it's kind of
Yeah,
it's pretty good for what it is.
It's a pretty good piece of shit, put it like that.
Yeah, it's a pretty good piece of shit.
It's
you
a
can
nice,
put it in the
shiny
ground,
piece
you
of
can
shit.
put it on some plants, and your plants will grow.
It's like the gold
Not
poo
like-
award. You know, the gold poo for the worst company ever.
It's not like dog shit. It's more like cow manure. You can actually make use
Yeah,
of it.
it's useful. Because here's the thing. Like, okay,
Hey, it makes a
the
great
story
weapon.
mode's kind of garbage. That's a fact. The story mode's kind of garbage. The final boss, I mean, come on, Galactus.
Too damn easy. Too damn easy for who it is.
Yeah, it's Galactus. I mean, come on. You could do. I mean, there's so much cooler stuff they could have done instead of just Galactus.
I'm sorry, but fucking Abyss was a harder boss than Galactus.
I think they should have. Here's the thing: if they were going to go with Galactus, Galactus should have been even more. He should have been overpowered, darn near invincible.
No, he was overpowered. He just wasn't overpowered in the right way. It's just like shitty. But I don't know. That's why I don't want the people that are making those fighting games to work on anything.
Well, unfortunately, they're still. I mean, basically, I know how you feel. That's how I feel about a lot of the stuff coming out from a lot of companies nowadays. But the thing is that we have to hope for a better future with these titles. Like, I think Rival Schools, if they won't make a fighting game, do something with the franchise.
Do a spin-off of that, like they did with Street Fighter when they made Final Fight.
Yeah, do something.
Make
Well,
another. Make a spin-off of a spin-off.
Funny story about Final Fight.
I know that was
Final
supposed
Fight
to be
was
the
supposed to be
second
Street Fighter 2, but it was so different that they literally were like, "This has got to be its own game."
Yeah, which is good that they did that.
Yeah, because we got one of the best arcade beat 'em ups ever.
Yes. If only they were so good. It was back then.
Any game that lets me pick a dude up and pile drive him into pick him up and jump in the air and pile drive him into some barrels.
Or other people.
Or other people, but really the barrels.
It was fun.
Play a dude that knees a dude like 15 times and then throws a body slam into another dude. That's just,
or
your main character.
Play with an Americanized ninja that knows how to jump across walls and fuck people up with knives and shit.
Your main character's good with knives. I mean, what type of BS is that, man? What are you teaching kids?
Fucking Cody is supposed to be this all-American dude, but know how to shank the fuck out of somebody.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing. If you follow the storyline of Final Fight, Cody goes to jail for murder. He goes to jail for murder.
Murdering Belger.
Yeah. A corrupt
Which is
piece
fucked up.
Yeah, you saved the city. The mayor couldn't help you out. The mayor of the city's like, yeah, man, you got to go to jail. Come on, Mike. You gonna help me out, man?
But and it wasn't just that, but he had fallen off and just couldn't stop fighting in some stupid shit. He just kept getting into fights.
Look,
and
they got him for Belger. That's what they got him for. That's what they sent him to jail for was Belger.
You get put in jail for fucking for killing the most corrupt motherfucker in the city. Oh man, we are so sidetracked. At least this is still same universe though.
It's Capcom. Look, I'm just saying, if they're gonna make a Rival School spinoff, I want to create a team Metro City, Metro High School. I want Mike Hagar to be the principal, and I want Final Fight 3 Mike Hagar with the ponytail.
With the fucking Sylvester Stallone.
with the ponytail, or you can go retro, Mike Hagar with the suspenders. Whatever works.
I would. Hey, give him the suspenders and the ponytail. Shit, why not?
Yeah, and one of the teachers, are going to be Guy and Cody.
Guy Cody and Carlos.
We need a woman in here. You can add a police woman in there.
Well, yeah, I guess you could.
You gotta balance it out. You need a woman. You need a woman in there.
What
and
about Maki then?
The students are gonna be. I don't know who you're gonna get to be a student for these people.
Kyle would have to be one of them because you know they wouldn't do it without him.
No, we don't need Kyle.
No, we could. They could make a better version of Kyle.
Yeah,
they could make a better version of Kyle. I didn't like that streetwise Kyle. He sucked.
He was too whiny.
Yeah, he fucking was.
I'm like, dude, your brother is Cody.
I forgot Cody's last name.
Cody Travers, I think.
Yeah, it is Travers. It's Travers.
Cody Travers, and this dude uppercutted a dude out of a window. Out of a plate glass window from the top floor of a skyscraper.
That's some strength.
That's some pretty badass stuff right there.
Like you running around whining and
You're whining.
Oh no, I would want a Kyle that's overconfident and cocky and thinks he can beat everybody's ass. That would be the Kyle I would want. Kind of like Kyo from King of Fighters.
Yeah, I can
That
beat
type
you.
of cockiness. I want him to have that type of cockiness, but also that type of skill. That would make it nice.
So he can talk the talk and walk the walk.
Yes. I mean, I'm sorry, if Kyo Kusanagi sit there and trash talk you, then beat your ass afterwards, that's the type of character I want to see.
Well, you know what Bruce Lee used to do?
Yep.
He would walk around like he was really effeminate and homosexual and mess with people so that they would, like, straight dudes so that they'd fight him, and then he'd beat them in order to teach them a lesson. He's like, yeah, if you got beat down by a dude who's gay, he's teaching little lessons to people, you know. I'm like, dang, Bruce, you're a pretty interesting guy.
Hey, shows he was a good jokester too.
Yeah. What a terrible joke.
You know what? Whatever. It was Bruce Lee. We'll let it pass. I think the subject of rival schools until somebody can come up with an appropriate story. Because I mean, Ray, I like the way the way you went about it with the whole recruiting the best students from schools by beating them. That does make sense. It would work out well, especially if they would take a worldwide approach.
Work. Like if you're the best, because they want the best fighter, but they're pretending that the stuff's a school.
Yeah.
So they're fighting each other. People are beaten down. Like maybe like you can have like the principal is a real a-hole. He actually is the primary villain. Like maybe it's not even the principal. Maybe it's the vice principal. The principal looks like he's a badass, but the real bad guy's the vice principal. And you know, like when he's like I'm disciplining these kids. Like they're like, well, what happened to the kids? We never found out. And then you find the dead bodies or something. Make it a little dark. Make it a little edgy. Make them brainwashed so that they'll fight anybody.
Then these would, if they're going to be dead, then these could not be starring characters and would have to be like, you know, fodder type characters just made for the story.
Okay, how about brainwashed? How about brainwashed? Not dead.
Brainwashed. If it's brainwashed, then we can use main team characters. Because if they're dead, people get pissed. Somebody see a character like Daigo dead in a story like this?
Which Daigo are you talking about? Daigo Dojima?
No,
I'm joking.
No, I said Daigo. I meant Daigo. Daigo. The big muscle-bound dude that wears the trench coat.
Oh, no, he couldn't do. No,
you couldn't.
Okay, how about this? How about not dead? How about brainwashed?
Brainwashed would work because he's been brainwashed before.
Yeah, like the kids are quote unquote disciplined by the vice principal, and you don't see them until later on in the game, and like it's like, hey, how's it going? And they're fighting harder than they've ever fought before. You're like, oh snap, this dude's insane. And when you beat them, they snap out of it and they tell you what happened. You're like, dang,
which would make for an interesting plot. Which would make for an interesting plot and some strange worldwide high school beatdowns.
I'm just saying.
That would make sense. If they were looking for, say, they're fighting in school for their best student, which would technically be their best fighter, I could get that. That works. That works. But I'm just saying, for like for something like this, you'd have to really have like a sit down and be like, okay, who's going to be where and who's going to be taken, who's not going to be taken. Because in this situation, as bad as it might sound, I would like to see Batsu get taken. He's my favorite character.
Come on, man. Oh, yeah.
I would like
Unless
to see
you're
him
playing as Batsu.
Well, you play with him up to a certain point, and then he gets beat and taken.
Or maybe if you aren't playing as Batsu, how about this? How about if you're playing as Batsu, maybe someone close to Batsu, like maybe because rival schools, you had your partner, right?
Yeah, like Kyosuke or Hinata.
Yeah, your partner gets taken, and like the female character.
I was gonna say the way Project Justice was done anyway, all the stories kind of tied into each other in some way. They weren't exactly the same, but they all had pretty much the same basis and flow, with the exception of maybe like one or two of them, because those were what ifs. But the general scope of Project Justice when they made it was that all of the stories tied together to form a whole picture, which is what I would want them to do. So like in a what if situation where he did get picked up and captured, I would love to see that. And then you'd have to fight him in the brainwashed state, sort of like the like Bison's Killer Bee Girls, like fight him in the brainwashed state and have to beat him, which is good. And for this, I would love to see a Bison in disguise as the main villain.
That would be pretty cool. That would be cool.
Especially if it was like
in disguise as some scrawny little pencil pusher.
Because you always have them little cartoon shows where the principal is really disguised as some kind of villain or something. That would be, I guess, that would be a good concept. That would work for the game.
This is where we would have him be the vice principal, the only vice principal in the whole game, mind you.
Mm-hmm. The vice principal that's trying to that's waiting for the principal to just be taken down so he can take over.
No, you get to fight the vice principal. And the vice principal's like, yeah, come on, bring it. And you punch him, and his life bar goes down to nothing. And he falls down. And then he gets back up and takes off his glasses and puts them in his front pocket and transforms into M. Bison. And then you know what's on.
He was like, hold up. He's here? He's in this game?
I got a good idea. He's searching for his new body. He's going to steal it from one of these students.
Well, and Batsu would be the best candidate, but as you said, for the whole story to work, he'd have to be looking through the different schools and trying to find the perfect body.
That's why he's the vice principal.
Yep.
He gets to watch all this stuff. He's like, yeah, we're gonna find out who's the best.
It is a good cover though. It's a good cover story, and it would work because that's the type of mind game he would play anyhow.
Because M. Bison's kind of a douchebag. I like him. He's one of my favorite characters. He's a total douchebag.
But that's why. That's why people like him, because we know what he's about.
He's a douchebag done right.
Yes. As bad as that might sound. But yes.
I'm just saying. I mean, that would be a cool, and you could really tie those two universes together tighter than they already are. Maybe get some of those Street Fighter people to jump in on rival schools, make it into a franchise that can stand on its own.
Well, if we did that, that would have to be something that would have to come like after this, because if other major Street Fighter characters popped up right off, then it would just be another Street Fighter.
Just as like, okay, let's say like the first game, the one that you're talking about, the revival, would be like maybe on the harder difficulties, like above very hard. Like you'd fight the vice principal. People are like, well, what's so awesome about fighting? I played this game on a higher difficulty. What's so bad about the vice principal? It turns out it's actually M. Bison. Yeah, that's a big deal. Mm-hmm. And maybe like if you make a sequel to this one, like you actually have a kind of pseudo social life thing going on. Because I know in the second one they said that there was a pseudo social life thing where you create a character and
the board
do
game.
social. You can do that except like let's say like you decide to, instead of going to school, because I know in Japan they go to school 6 days a week.
Wow.
Like instead of
I didn't
studying
realize
on
that.
Friday night, instead of studying, you skip and go to, I don't know, like the clubs in the bar district, and while you're there, you see a street fight going on, and guess who's there? Friggin' Ryu.
Now you know
Well, I
what we
mean,
could,
he does
you know what
travel
we
the
could-
world on foot.
Or Ken Masters. That would work too.
You know,
Either
depending
one.
on what
There's a
region.
street fight.
Here's what we'll go with that. Depending upon the region that your character is in, because each Street Fighter has a prominent region.
Yeah.
We know Ken is the U.S. We know Ryu is Japan. Somebody like Cammy could be England.
Yeah.
So it would just depend on who you've had, like Cammy or maybe Eagle.
Or if you're in America, Colonel Guile.
Yep. Just
Maybe
depending on where you are.
you can challenge them, right? And if you beat them, they can become like your mentor,
Yeah. Well,
and
maybe
they give
not
you a
necessarily.
boost to your stats.
I wouldn't say beat you, but I'd beat them. I'd say impress them.
Well, I mean, if you manage
you
to
get
not look
there-
like a total douchebag while fighting them,
Yeah.
like if you make a decent showing for yourself, like if you get some hits in, some clean hits in, they're like, hey, you're pretty good. I'll become your secret mentor, and they'll give you like tips, and it's like a little stat boost that'll kind of help you out.
And be able to get like certain moves from them that you can't get any other way for that particular character. That would be good.
You can throw a friggin' sonic boom. There you go. You have
Like
congratulations.
projectiles are new to rival school.
You have learned Guile's only projectile attack.
Yeah, you know, it would be quite good as well, like, as just like a little bonus kind of parody mode. You know, like how Call of Duty has this zombie mode. You could have like a zombie school, and the principal of that school could easily be Sadler.
Wow, dude. I don't know if that would. I mean, that would kind of fit. I mean, it could be like a themed thing.
Yeah, it would be
I
like
guess
kind of like one of them special modes, like you know, like in Call of Duty, you have the zombies mode.
I guess I could get along with that idea. I don't know. I have to. I can kind of see it.
Like a horde, just like a horde mode, kind of.
Yeah. You're just taking them down one by one.
Yeah.
I could get that. I could see that being done. But you also got to think unless you're doing singular character, you're gonna be fighting in teams of 3, taking these damn things out.
Mm.
So, I mean, that would be.
Still work.
I could see that. I could see it being done. Be interesting
That'd
to
be a
see.
tough fight.
That'd be something really hard to work.
Then when you get to like when you've defeated a certain amount of enemies, you actually face Sadler in like his final form, like his Plagas form.
Man, that's. I think people would be a little too freaked out to fight him.
How would you fight him? You're talking a dude. I mean, didn't you need a rocket launcher in order to take him out?
Not necessarily. That was just out of choice. I defeated him without a rocket launcher.
Yeah, but I mean, to get in close to something like that, it's
But,
like
hey,
I'd rather have the rocket launcher.
That's what fighting characters thrive on, though. You got to think about it. They thrive on that intimate, close quarters combat where I'm going to break you
Yeah,
up.
but there's no intimate. You do not want to get in close to what that thing was.
No, dude.
What that dude
Dude,
transformed. It's like,
hey.
yeah,
Marvel vs. Capcom has disproven that.
yeah. No, Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
That truly disproved that.
Oh, that final boss in Tatsunoko versus Capcom was a joke.
Yami.
Ah.
Well, I mean, look, here's the thing. If you played
It was so
Okami,
hard.
Yami was, I mean, like, here's the thing. For such a cute-looking boss, kind of, Yami was, oh, God, that SOB.
Oh, man. But that is an interesting concept. I guess, though, if you do that, then you'd have to be able to have, like, other different types of theme things that can be done. Maybe just, like, stuff that can be done, like, swapped-in themes. Like, maybe have one month, if you do this, you'll earn, like, I guess, have it be like a rotating thing where you have an opportunity, like, every few months in the game to earn certain things by playing these different themed situations like you said with the zombie theme, but like having like maybe have another like odd ass futuristic theme with somebody else. I mean, like I'm taking like a Darkstalkers type situation where you might fight Pyron at the end.
Yeah, like you could like each version, like they could do, they could like have like different surprise characters. You could have from other Capcom games, like you could like let's say you're walking around, Morrigan pops up, or Dimitri,
Oh gosh.
or the cat lady. I forgot her name, not the cat lady. Felicia, yeah. You have them, or the dude who's supposed to be the thing from the lagoon. I mean, you could have these people just pop up. It's like, hey, I'm your mentor now. You learn some stuff. Yeah, that's cool.
Actually, blending it with Darkstalkers wouldn't be a bad idea either. If like you just like swap Bison for Pyra.
Yep.
But like, say you're doing say you're doing a campaign mode where you're doing like arcade battle after arcade battle, and it's just like at some random point in the arcade, all you hear is objection, and then you have to face Phoenix Wright.
That would be some funny shit.
Phoenix Wright is like.
I'm like, what are you gonna do? You gonna throw a filing cabinet at me?
Yeah, no. He does what he does in Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Or have a Frank West situation.
Oh God.
But Frank West is funny.
Yeah, he
At
is.
least if you're talking first Dead or Alive, not Dead Rising. Frank West.
No, the first one he was good. The second one.
Second one, I'm not caring too much about.
Like, he was like DL in the second one.
Yeah, I'm just like that. Frank is depressing. He's a little depressing. I don't like him so much. But if it's Frank West before the beard and grumpy look.
But I just think that would be so cool. Like you're in the middle of a battle, and next thing you hear is objection.
Yeah. His all his attacks would be just his judicial moves. Objection.
Boy, he just say certain things and the word pop up and bash you in the face.
Yeah.
It would be funny. Oh, it could work. I mean, if it did like a rotating Capcom theme thing where you could have like that mentor for a certain amount of time, and then you play a new theme like I said on a rotating basis rather than it just being one singular thing that's there forever.
No, you could change mentors.
It could be like different online events that could happen.
That's more or less what I was saying.
You could change mentors. You could change mentors. You change mentors by like let's say once you run into like 3 mentors, like even if you don't beat them, like you hear about like an underground competition where like you hear like these urban myths. You know how like school mysteries that in Japanese culture they have the school mysteries of the school. Well, they have like mysteries of the city where they're like, hey, I heard something strange is gonna happen on this night at this time.
And then you play online with other live players.
Yeah,
that would be the defining thing. Other live players, and you'd have to beat these people out in these little tournaments in order to make it to this mythical character, we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
That would work.
I'm just saying. That'd be cool.
That would work. They're saying, look, we sitting here, I was talking about ending it, and we just ran on with other ideas and shit.
But maybe really cool. Like normal mentors, like you could get just through the gameplay, but really powerful mentors, like say like Evil Ryu, like you'd have to earn that.
Yeah, like just like through these specialized events that could pop up. Like, okay, well, we're not going to tell you who the mystery character is, and you just have to play and see. And then you earn some sort of special, like you could earn certain special moves that would now be a part of your set of moves that you could choose from for that specific character, I will say. Because I'm not going to let everybody just unlock the moves and just hand them to everyone. Like, nah, you get this for this specific character. So if you want your karate specialized character to have a Hadoken, then you might want to keep an eye out on, these events. See what the theme is, see what the original game that the concept comes from, and then from there you'll see what you have.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's all different kind of ideas you can tamper with. I mean, Rival Schools is just one of those games where it's just crazy enough to be made even more crazy.
Yep. And I would be so cool to see what was the thing? It was Tallbane from Darkstalkers, the wolf dude.
Mm-hmm.
Let him be a mentor for, for a minute, or Blanca pop up.
Yeah, if the wolf dude is your mentor, your character for a brief moment of time, because Rival Schools had the super meter, didn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, you fill
But
it up.
theirs is so unique. It's not the same way as the other ones.
Yeah, you fill yours up, you use it, and you get to turn into a wolf for like a brief amount of time. A wolf person.
That could work.
And during that time, you do more damage, but you take more damage. So it's not like OP.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think, though, gentlemen, we are probably out of... I mean, we could talk on it forever, but we're probably out of new stuff for right now.
Yeah.
I think we
looks like we've really gone through our whole list of game ideas for this.
Too bad Capcom won't be listening.
Mm-hmm.
It's Capcom.
I say we spam Capcom's Twitter with this video.
No, I don't think they'll appreciate the couple nasty things we've already said anyway.
Oh, that is true.
Hey, I mean, if they could look past it, that'd be fine. But prior history tells me they won't.
Dude, it's Capcom. You know, Capcom, that's what they do. They take your dreams and destroy them slowly but surely.
It's okay. Somebody will eventually make something similar to Rival Schools, and I could back that.
Yeah,
So,
you know, someone will do a Kickstarter or something.
and then I'll be back in that.
Who knows? They may even get the who knows? They may even get the idea from listening to this podcast.
Hopefully.
Because you know how these indie developers are. You know, they're just like they're not like corporate. They're not like corporate people who think, you know, yeah, we don't need to listen to the peasants on YouTube. These people actually like watch people's videos and stuff like that. So you never really know what they're seeing and what ideas they could be getting from the people in the YouTube community.
Which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
Because we've seen so many good games spawn from this.
Mm-hmm.
But
who knows? Who knows?
But I think, gentlemen, we will start wrapping up. So we'll get to our outros and going in reverse order from my right to my left. I'll start with Mr. Red Fox.
All right. I enjoyed this podcast. It was awesome.
It's a little different, isn't it? Talking about video game ideas in a podcast dedicated to it.
Yeah, it's nice.
It was great. It was great. I enjoy it. I hope to be invited to many more. So I've got nothing coming up next week because between work and school, I'm just going to be swamped. I'm going to try and upload some videos that I've been editing. So look forward to that. Stop grabbing me. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
All right, go ahead, the game's Rosa. You go ahead and do your thing, man.
Oh, yeah, and the reason I went like, because I don't know, that's the kind of field I'm starting to work with, but yeah.
We know, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you've been on every one of these.
Mate, if you have a Rival Schools concept, Rosa, then just stop talking and start developing it now.
Yeah, I could. I got the Unity. But, yeah, so I came in late, so I really can't say much, but anyway, hopefully you liked it, and really good to see some ideas here, and yeah, I mean, I got a review for Bayonetta coming in probably tonight, just editing it, a few pieces, and that's about it, but yeah, so, like I always say, don't lose your way, don't be afraid, just game to the end. Bye-bye.
All right, Micah, go ahead and do your wrap up, man.
Well, you know who it is at the end of the day. It's a great podcast. Nice to be in a space where you can just express creative ideas. We'll definitely look forward to being on more of these podcasts. Good to have you back, GBGI, and you. And also as well, I might be doing a review on Bayonetta 2 myself. I'm thinking about. I'm not really the kind of person that likes to do reviews, but since I've done the whole game and I really enjoyed it, so I may think about it. Who knows? So look out for that. But definitely check out my podcast with Triforce about the Legend of Zelda: Order of Time, and definitely check out the Legend of Zelda: Order of Time. The first episode is quite deep, to be honest. I mean, when if you listen to the podcast between me and Triforce, you see where certain more aspects of depth is gone into more detail. So definitely check that. Definitely check those out. And like I always say, play your games, enjoy your games, and just have fun. You only get one life at the end of the day. Don't waste it. Don't waste it with the crap that goes on YouTube. Just enjoy your games, man. It's video games.
All right, people. Just want to do my final spiel that I've done basically on every episode of this. If there's anyone who would like to come on and share their own video game ideas, I know I've had a couple people talk to me about doing some. Just gotta work things out with them. But you really want to come on and share a video game idea you have, I'm all for it, as long as it's semi-well thought out, because obviously this one wasn't completely thought out, but it branched out into something else a little bit more beautiful than I thought it was going to be. So just contact me. I'm on Google+. Get me on YouTube. You can catch me on Twitter. I'm available as far as those means of contact. Hit me on Gmail, gbginu@gmail.com. Just get to me. We'll talk it out and see what we can work out, and we'll figure out a time that we can do this. This hopefully will be able to get back to what I want it to be, and to be like a bi-weekly series. If not, probably at least show up every month, because I fell off the wagon with it, and I really want to get more episodes done. So I really enjoyed doing this and talking about one of my favorite fighting franchises. It's not my favorite, but it's one of them. It's up there. So I just basically just come share your ideas, and even if you don't want to share an idea, you just want to come in and talk about one of mine, I'm cool with that too. But I'll definitely gladly take a back seat, because I did so with Triforce at one point when he was talking about his Legend of Zelda timeline theory. I took a back seat on that and let him run the show basically with everything he wanted to. So I really want to do more of these. I want people to be able to give their input. I want them to be able to share their thoughts and ideas, and that's the whole basic premise of this. Even if you don't feel like you have the talent to be a game developer, but you just feel like you have this amazing idea, even if you got more than one, I'll welcome you to bring them all. But if you really just have this one amazing idea you want to talk about, come on, I'm for it. I'm here for that. I want to facilitate that need. I know people have that need to share and express these ideas. I know that because I have the same need. I just have a lot of different ideas. So I'm pretty much done with that. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I know we got derailed a little bit and sidetracked and talked about a few other things, but that's common among us. We just do that while we're doing our thing. It's fun, it's enjoyable, it's a great conversation, and it keeps us going. It's one of those things that we as gamers like to do. When you're a gamer, you like to share your ideas, you like to share your thoughts, you like to share your experiences. And like I said, that's what this whole thing was about. That was the whole concept of Gamer Idea Foundry, and I want to keep that going. So again, thank you very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears out for more of my stuff, and until the next time, please enjoy your games. Good night, people. Peace out.